The thing about booktube is if you want to get noticed, you've got to do something that has never been done before. You see, the last book I read was The Great Gatsby, and to that I say, why is this famous? Because I was literally never been so bored in my life. I could have just watched reality TV, you know. I could have watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians and it would have been more interesting than this. However, controversial opinions about The Great Gatsby aside, I can't just stand up here and review The Great Gatsby because that's been done to death. Everyone has a review of The Great Gatsby, everyone has an opinion on The Great Gatsby, and it's usually the same thing, which is, this book is great, which would make my review probably better because it's an alternate opinion. However, no one's gonna watch a Great Gatsby review. What they are gonna watch is something a little different. M.T Anderson's Feed. Let me tell you a little bit of backstory about how I acquired this book. There was a little free library outside, like, the public library in my town. Now, my town is what Americans would call the hood. The council decided to make things a little bit more cheerier. They were going to put up a free library where people could bring and take books as they please. But again, there is anarchy in my town. The thing was burnt to the ground, but not before I was able to save this book from the fire. So I feel like fate brought myself and M.T Anderson's Feed together due to the fact that it would have gone up in flames if I hadn't been there the day before to snatch it for free. This was free. And I finally, this year, after thinking I'm never going to get around to reading this, I just kind of looked at it and I was like, I might just read that one. I might just read this one. And I did. And my goodness, this is political commentary pushed to the extreme, my friend. So let's not waste any time and get right into the book. M.T Anderson's Feed is about a group of teenagers that live in the future. Probably not the near future because, you know, some crazy stuff is happening. Like, they are literally on a holiday to the moon at the beginning of this book. And if that isn't impressive enough, every other planet, Mars, Jupiter, my anus, they've all been inhabited. So the whole solar system's just been taken over. We've found a way to live on other planets, and it's pretty impressive. So this is kind of a futuristic sci-fi novel, but things get dark, and it turns very, how do the kids say, dystopian. This is a dystopian YA novel, but oh my god, once in a while you just read a YA novel that doesn't suck. And this was my lucky day, kids. Basically, what happens in this book is there's no need for iPhones or computers or tablets anymore because from birth you were given a computer in your brain and it is called a feed. There are many downsides to this thing, including it can be hacked like a normal computer can or a normal phone or tablet can in real life. However, since it is part of your brain, a virus that could attack your computer can in fact attack your entire brain. And that is very scary to think about. Not only that, but these things are just full of advertising. The advertising doesn't stop. 24/7, there's advertising running in your brain, and that sounds like it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm besides that, you don't even have to go to school because everything, you just think of it and you know the answer. And that sounds amazing. If someone asked me a question I didn't know the answer to, I could just think about it and I know the answer. That's insane. Children only go to school in this book to learn how to use their feeds and, you know, all the things they can do with them. But it'd be hard to pay attention because it's just 24-hour advertising. I did love the advertisements in this book. They were very kind of retro. It was like retro radio kind of advertisements, but they were futuristic and they were funny and they were ironic. Not iconic, not very iconic, but ironic. And it was just kind of fun to read those at the beginning of every chapter, and it was very good. But back to the plot. This group of kids are going on a vacation, spring break, to the moon. It was just the homies, and then there's this one girl. What was her name? It was like Violet. Violet was her name. And Violet's like not part of the home group, but she's like also on like the rocket ship going to the moon. And like Titus, who is the main character, I think that's his name, is very... And basically, Violet and her newfound homies, they go to the moon. However, there are some crazy Russian hackers there. I don't think they're Russian, but I just like the term crazy Russian hacker. And these dudes hack the brains of these kids, and they all have to go to the hospital and things like that. And there are some problems, but they clear themselves up. But Violet is experiencing side effects after her hack, and everything kind of goes from there. The whole book is basically centered around the idea that these kids have computers in their heads, and that was a pretty bad idea to begin with, which I kind of agree with, because imagine someone being able to hack your brain. That concerns me. That concerns me. But what did I think of the book? This book is great. I loved it. It is not my favourite book ever, but I would recommend it, especially if you like sci-fi or dystopian, but are sick of the same old thing in dystopian, sci-fi, YA fiction. There is romance in it. There is drama, but it's not cheesy and it's not going to leave you feeling like you've read this book several times before, because it's interesting and there's a great relationship with other people, and it's not just about the ladies, it's about the dudes as well. I don't know what I'm talking about. I would consider this book to be kind of like a mesh of Ender's Game and Less Than Zero. You know, you've got that awkward friend dynamic of Less Than Zero, and everything is space themed and crazy of Ender's Game, and you just combine it and it's just the good stuff, my man. The good stuff. If there is a burning library near your town, you should try and find this book and save it from the rubble, because it is worth the read. I enjoyed this. I would enjoy talking about this with the homies. If you've read this book and want to talk about it more with me, you can let me know in the comments what you thought and I might reply to you. Most likely I will, because I have no life and just want friends. But that being said, thank you all very much for watching M.T Anderson's feed. One of the best books of the year so far. I hope that I can read something even better. I'm currently reading Chuck Palahniuk's Damned, and it's about hell and a little girl who's gone to hell. And it's very bizarre and strange, but good, and I like it, and I think it's going to be a new favourite. Chuck Palahniuk has to redeem himself after I read Tell All earlier this year, which was one of the most bizarre things I've ever read in my life. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all next time, next week, whenever. Goodbye, everyone.